Good morning, everyone. We are doing chapter number 9, that is reproduction. In this chapter, till now, we have done asexual reproduction, for example, budding in Hydra and binary fission in amoeba. Then we have discussed about the sexual reproduction in human being, including male reproductive organs and female reproductive organs. We have also discussed about fertilization, types of fertilization, that is internal fertilization and external fertilization. In our last class, we have discussed about the development of embryo in human. So we have studied about zygote, embryo and fetus in our previous class. Now in our today's class, we are going to discuss about the reproduction in frogs. So all the aquatic animals, including fish, frog, starfish, etc., we have seen that uh, external fertilization occurs in these cases. So in the external fertilization, first of all, female lays hundreds of eggs and the male releases sperm near that eggs only. So the fertilization of egg and sperm takes place outside the female body. That's why it is a type of external fertilization. Now, in this case, they have to lay hundreds of eggs. They have to release millions of sperms at the same time. Now, why? Because even all the eggs do not get fertilized. Some of the sperm and eggs get exposed to water movement, wind, temperature, rainfall, or in some other cases, some other aquatic animals can destroy these eggs and sperm. So that's why they have to release a large number of eggs and sperm at the same time. So this is how fertilization occurs in frog and aquatic animals. After that, the next topic which we have to discuss is oviparous animals and viviparous animals. We can classify the animals into two categories depending upon the mode of giving birth to the young one. Whether the young one is coming from the egg which is laid by the animal or the animal give birth direct birth to the young one. So on the basis of that, we can classify the animals into two categories. The first category is oviparous animals. The animals which lay eggs outside their bodies are known as oviparous animals. Okay. For example, all the birds, frog, reptiles, all these categories come under the oviparous animals. Now the next category is viviparous animals. The animals which give birth to young one. Okay, direct young one will come out from the body. That is giving birth to the young one. So this type of animals comes under the viviparous animals. The example: dog, cat, cow, lion, and human being also. So these are the two categories: viviparous animals as well as oviparous animals. The next which we have to discuss about test tube baby. I hope you all have heard this word test tube baby. So when we see this baby, so a thought come in our mind that the baby coming out or the baby developed inside a test tube, and this is not the fact. Okay, so what does test tube baby means? Let's discuss. We have seen during the topic of fertilization in human beings, there we have discussed that fertilization occurs in the oviduct, which is also known as fallopian tube. So just imagine what happens if somehow the fallopian tube or the oviduct is blocked. If it is blocked, in that case, the fertilized egg or the zygote, we can say, that cannot move towards the uterus, and the lady cannot conceive because of that damaged oviduct or blocked oviduct. So in that case, what is the solution of this problem? In that case, we can take the egg from the female body and sperm from the male body, and the fertilization will take place outside the body. Okay, generally in normal cases fertilization takes place in oviduct, but if oviduct is blocked or oviduct is damaged, in that case doctor can collect freshly released egg from female and sperm from male and then keep them together for a few hours for IVF. Now what is IVF? In vitro fertilization. Okay, fertilization which is taking outside the which takes place outside the female body. So we cannot say that exactly it is an external fertilization because this is not the natural process. Okay, so that is in vitro fertilization, that is IVF. So fertilization will occur and finally that fusion, because of the fusion of egg and sperm, zygote will form. Then we allow that zygote to develop for few weeks, that converted to the embryo, and then finally it will placed inside the mother's uterus. Then complete development of this embryo into fetus that will take place inside the uterus, and the baby is born like other babies. Babies born through this technique are called test tube baby. Okay, baby doesn't develop inside the test tube, but exactly the fertilization that takes place inside the test tube. So that's why the name is given as test tube baby. Okay, so this is a very important technique, especially for the women who are having the problem in their oviduct. Okay, so in that case they can easily conceive. The next topic in this chapter is metamorphosis. So metamorphosis, it is a very important biochemical process, biological process, in which a larva will convert into the adult. Now it's not necessary a larva only can convert into the adult. Any organism, that organism will convert from childhood to the adulthood. That process is known as metamorphosis. Okay, and by this process, the organism will become reproductively mature. Now that organism is able to reproduce. That process is known as metamorphosis. It involves some sudden changes, and even we human being also having this process metamorphosis, though it is known as adolescence, and that we are going to discuss in the next chapter, chapter number 10, adolescence. Okay, so that is the process which occurs all types of organism, but especially we can observe them in frog and in silkworm, in butterflies. There we can easily observe them. So you can see the frog, the diagram is also given in the book. Egg, from the egg it will convert to the tadpole. Now in the next stage we will have the leg on the tadpole. Tadpole will, some legs will be, both the side legs will be developed in the tadpole. Then this tadpole will convert to the young frog. Now this young frog will convert to the adult. So any process by which that tadpole, or we can say the larva or the young one, they are converting to the adult, that process is known as metamorphosis. After this, the last topic is cloning. Cloning is a technique by which an exact biological copy of the cell is made. Okay, exact copy of biological cell. Any biological part of the body can be prepared, or the full body can be prepared. Okay, that is known as cloning. It is created by inserting the complete genetic material of a regular body cell from a donor into a recipient. The first the first clone mammal, that was Dolly. Okay, in the book everything is given, that we are going to discuss how the cloning is done in the case of Dolly. It is a mixture of two different species. The first one is Finn Dorset sheep, and the second one is Scottish black-faced ewe. So because of these two mixing, but the main thing is that the nucleus is transferred from the sheep, and that's why it is the Dory does not contain any characteristic of the ewe. Only the female characteristic, that is sheep's characteristics, were shown by Dolly. Okay, because it contains the nucleus of sheep. So that is about the cloning. Now in the next class I will send